Good morning, good day, good afternoon, wherever you are. You can choose the right greeting for this trading live stream. My name is Christopher. We're going to trade together today. I did my pre-market analysis. Let's just go over to the S&P 500 just to see what's going on today. Market just opened a minute ago. We'll see if we can find any trade today. As of right now, I'm rather short biased on S&P, which is kind of surprising, right? Because we did have this strong push higher in the last couple of days, but now we just faked the previous day's range. And usually that means for me that we might end up going lower, at least short term. I'm sorry, for today. But as of right now, I don't see a setup here. Gotta be honest. And just give me a second. It seems like my camera has frozen and given up service. So let me see if I can fix it. That might be good if you can see me and not my frozen image. Let's see, where are we? Here we are. This one here. This one here. Okay. It looks like, yes, there we are. Back again. Back on track. Now we can go back to trading. Let's see. What do we need to have to find a good entry? Actually, I kind of like this range here. This range we're building off of the open. Is it a valid range? It's a tricky one. I just had one trade today. It was quite early after news hit. Today was non-farm payrolls. I had one trade here in gold. I saw this breakdown here coming back up to the highs of day, which are all-time highs as well. And I took a very tiny portion of that squeeze here. It was like, in the end, 10 or 15 ticks, which is nothing in relation to what this trade here was. 273 tick range. So it's just a very, very, very tiny range. And I just took a little stab on tiny size as well, because you don't want to go long in this crazy volatility or short or have a position at all without mitigating your risk. So I took a tiny position, tiny win in my books for the day. Seems like my short setups as of right now are invalidated. The reason I wanted to go short is because I thought we had this range here. We came above it, we broke below, so we kind of faked this breakout here. But it seems like we're now coming back to the top of the range, which is all-time highs, by the way. Crude oil. Look at the volume. It's like 16,000 lot. Nothing's going to happen today. Or we're going to see a strong squeeze in late afternoon. But as of right now, it looks like not a lot of interest in trading crude oil. We are short biased, in my opinion, though we do have a couple of reasons to go long. So honestly, in this range here, in the range from 79.50 to, let's say, 78, I don't think it's easy to find a trade. I just will not touch it. Apart from that, let's see, what do we have? So what I would like to see now on, let's see, do I have something like arrows? Tools. What do we have? Type text, a fan here, control and 7. So what I want to see now is something like this. A breakdown. Control 7 for another arrow. And here, this retest, right? We're building now this range in this zone. And it's important to get a bit of clarification, I would say. I want to get my setups verified. Volume in the first 10 minutes is okay. We do have 80,000 contracts traded. We are still in a short-term short context. We got a bit of a buying tail down here, a bit of volume on the push up, which came through news. And on the weekly profile, you can see it here. We do have a kind of strong trending weekly profile. So we're just continuing this long trend. That being said, it's kind of hard now to make new highs. If we went low here, short here, what would it mean? It's not like a setup you want to take, right? You see this buying tail here, this buying tail here. There is a bit of support on S&P, which is logical. We're at all-time highs, right? On gold, what do you want to see here? Most likely what I want to see here is a bounce into this zone here and then having a strong move back out of it. I do not believe that we're going to get new all-time highs today. That's quite some ways, although we do have a lot of volume, like 75,000 lot, which is compared to the previous days. I mean, you can see it here, 90,000, 169, 140, 170, which is like market is open for an hour and we already have half the volume of all of those days. So we will have above 2 million lot today, most likely. Lots of movement, strong volatility. It's the total opposite of crude oil, right? Crude oil is just doing nothing on no volume. And S&P is more like doing a little bit on a little bit of volume, doing normal volatility on normal volume. So there's nothing I would consider doing on ES right now. On gold, I'm waiting to go along here, which kind of is interesting because now we have, let's just check it on the profile. Yeah, we do have value area low at this little zone here, which might be interesting to go along off of. That being said, look at this short trend. It's incredible. This whole movement is incredible. So I want to see a clear setup here. Clear setup could be kind of, what is it? Taking out those lows here, right? Taking out this low here for a bounce back up. There's a lot of stuff that really is attractive about the setup. One of them is we do have this very low volume area here. So we have a volume spike here and a volume spike here. So if we break those lows, we will retest this volume here. And if it gets defended, we have this strong reason to go long. So then we would have like confirmation on many levels. That would mean like this could be a very nice long. Let's see. I'm just going to check my own stream for a second. Not that I expect anyone to jump in here, but I just want to make sure that quality is kind of what I want to see, right? Just going to check my own stream for a second. Not that I expect anyone to jump in here, but see. Yeah, stream quality is fine. I like it. At least audio. I know my video isn't on point, but who cares? I'm not beautiful anyways, so watch something else. Just listen to me. The day yesterday for me was kind of exhausting. I had one really good trade. That trade was a... What was it? It was a long in crude oil, I think. Or was it? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. I had one good trade yesterday and 3 losers and ended my day break even. Sometimes it goes like this. I mean, I can show you my performance curve if you want to see it. Oh, you cannot. How can I make you see it? Just a second. It's because the way I set up OBS. Let's see. What is this here? Okay, now you can see it. On the left side here, you can see my performance. I had like 2 really bad days that hit my performance. Then I had this grind back up, and kind of you see my day yesterday where I had this one winner, the losers that came kind of to my entry point. And I'm a bit in a grinding period where I do not get a lot of movement on my P&L, which is okay. I don't mind it. Let's see. I'm going to give you CR chart back. But at one point, you just want to see your P&L rise again, right? But that's the important point about trading. You're not trading your P&L, you are trading your setups. And if the setups are there, oh, look at S&P. Okay, short setups invalidated. Let's see how we can move higher. Nice push higher on S&P. Do I have delayed data? My clock says it's 46. I'm on a 5-minute. What the frick? What's happening here? No, okay. Okay. Gold squeezing higher. Beautiful. Let's see. I could also make something like this. Right? Those are the latest selling candles. The latest confirmed lows. It could be a scalp off of it. We're now breaking out, and now if we come back in this area, it's 40 ticks. I could only take one micro on it. That is weak. 1 micro is not a lot. Because my stop is so big. On the other hand, I mean, do I want to risk it? I don't know. Where does it have to go? Almost to all-time highs. That's not gonna be a 2-to-1. I mean, there is a lot of potential in it, but no, I'm not taking it. That is too risky. Just going to another study on S&P to make sure I'm not missing anything. That actually looks really nice. And not anymore. Point of control flipped down here, or up here, which is a bit tricky. Let's just see, can we see something on our limits? Oh, that looks fine. Nothing too serious here. Yeah, you see, this year is now, I don't want to say it's a reversal candle. It doesn't look so bad, right? But it's not like a confident breakout candle. That is the issue. We have a bit of balances here, but nothing too serious. We have a lot of volume demand up here. Our limits. Yeah, we have a lot of weirdness going on. That is a scalping market right now. I'm not very confident in taking it. And that's how you can spot algos. If they have, like, you see this 124, 124, 124. So someone just put in 124 limit orders or limit lot up here and sold it. Or basically not sold it, but stopped the uptrend. So there's a passive seller up here on a weak high, which is okay. That's the reason you don't go long on candles like this. Bit of a breakdown. Delta is still positive, which means aggressive buyers that cannot beat the passive sellers right now. Passive sellers are up here. Let's see. 9 minute till a new 30-minute candle opens. I'm even in a spot where I'm like, I want to have a quick setup, something that pops up, because this week is like boring. Today is a holiday in Germany, so I can spend my time other than waiting for something that might not even happen. This is so boring here. Nothing is happening. Oh, now finally, look at oil. Crude oil is creeping up slowly but surely. On a slow and steady pace. Slow and steady wins the race, right? If we come to this 79.30 zone, that's where I want to go short if we get a setup. If we don't get a setup, I do nothing. Let's see here. Man, this is like a tricky spot for a 5-minute candle. You see how we, now for the third time, tested the same exact level here. And now we don't have the cojones to go along or to push this seller. Now we do. We're getting into some levels of liquidity. There's absolutely no liquidity to the short side. I do not even think we're going short today. Not even for a second do we think about that. Now we're in a full-blown long mode. Now, some of you might be like, hey, why don't you go long? Because we're at all-time highs. But the thing is, you don't have levels of reference at all-time highs, at extremes. And that usually means it's more risky to trade them. Crude oil just gave up, not even halfway through the zone or through this area. It just gave up everything. Boring. Boring crude oil today. Let's see. What is gold doing? Gold basically doing nothing. Yes, thinking about breaking out, but not really doing it. I mean, it already has done it, to be fair, right? It's more like now that we cleared the path, I'm somehow missing this the steam, like the bullishness. I don't want to go long here. Not for the break of the high. It doesn't look so juicy, and it might even go, right? It might possible that it goes a couple of ticks higher, like 10, 15 ticks. But I'm not comfortable enough to take it. And now crude oil, look at that. Comes back down. Crude oil is going to bore us out today. So, can we get action on gold? It's tricky. Just want to make sure. I mean, we're still in this kind of long trend here, right? So my setup that I just drew, maybe we could do something like this and go along off of this. Have a really tight setup. That might be doable. Because then I can do something like this, like a 10-tick stop. That makes more sense. Let's see. It's risky though. But if it goes, you could have something like this. Just give me a second. Really tight stop here. 10, 11 ticks. And if it goes to all-time highs, back again, it's like a 13-to-1 trade. So, just give me a second. New 30-minute candle. This one looks actually quite nice here. Decent. Looks better than gold, to be fair. 20 ticks. I want to see a bit more of a pullback. Okay, I take this one long. Stop is below this candle here. It's 84. I want to see it break out now. Gets rejected. I give it one more second or so to figure out if it wants to break out, which it does. Nice. Putting my stop break even. I take it off. It's not that I hate the setup. The setup actually still works. It's still going, right? But somehow my gut feeling was like, I don't know. So I'd rather take it off. So I have to write it down. How long? 0.3. I went long. Let's just check it. 88.75 and 90 I got out. Tiny setup, tiny win. But hey, also tiny wins are wins. Set up here in gold, does nothing. Just chilling out. The S&P 500 is doing nothing as well. Look at Delta. Max Delta was 800. Now we aggressively sold it off to 0. We get aggression again on those clusters here. Little volume in this candle. Looks like we might want to go short for a little second. But not yet decided. What I do like about this level, I mean, look at it. You have confirmed prices here. You have confirmed prices here. So this is like the low of the confirmed prices, or the like, just to make clear what I think right now. You had this push up, right? You had a little rejection at the top, and the confirmed prices were down here. We squeeze higher, and now we have confirmed prices at the lows here. Looks interesting. Maybe we get a trade in this area, but I'm not going to be aggressive today. Not at the end of the week. Delta shift. Bit of clusters, but we're closing in this cluster zone here. Not going to take this trade here, for sure. This might be a very weird day that just grinds higher and higher and higher without having pullbacks at all, no like volume spikes throughout the day. It's just like an evenly distributed low volume day. That might be happening today. And the thing is, on days like this, you do not find entries. You just let them go and you hope that at some point they come back. You see this? It's like one, is it a green candle? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 green candles in a row on the 5-minute chart, so 50 minutes without interrupting the uptrend. If you're not in there right from the start, there's little chances you get in there later. Because the risk of a pullback is too high. The risk of this now pulling back, and I mean, look at it. There's nothing to hold it back. So either we now squeeze longer, or we just plummet down. And now it looks like we're going to plummet. Delta 750, 760. Aggressive buyers jumping in. Look at Delta. So down here we have like 200, 300 contracts bought aggressively. Let's see, maybe crude oil does something. I want to short this thing. It looks interesting. Interesting for a short. Gold doing nothing. Crude oil now kind of squeezing lower. Look at Delta here. 400 red, 500 red. So aggressive sellers are not able to push it down further, and maybe they are giving up now. Maybe they are giving up now. Now delta shift completely reversed. Look at that. Oh, sorry. Didn't meant to do it. Ah, yeah, you just saw that I have a heat map that I sometimes have a look at. I don't really use it actively. This is the tricky stuff about these trading phases. If you do not see aggression, right? I mean, we see kind of like volatility, but we do not see aggression. No huge speed, no huge sizes. Volume is kind of light. This is not aggressive. This is not aggressive. So it's hard to follow that trend if you do not know where the trend is going. Crude oil, this little annoying piece of, you know what I want to say. Crude oil has like two options, either breaking down and continuing the short trend that started happening like 3 days ago or 2 days ago, or it starts to push higher and gets out of this little consolidation and follows the big trend, right? This longer term trend. It just decides to do nothing. Interesting little edge here, volume edge. Maybe I'm going to use it for an entry. Just for like 5 or 6 or 7 ticks. There's a bit of absorption, but I don't like it. You see here, delta now increasing. We're at max delta or min delta, 760, which becomes kind of the biggest delta of the last 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, right? So it's like a bit of a trend shift. Second red candle in a row. "30-minute candle has a red to green move, green to red. We still have a single print here on the market profile. I don't know. I try so hard, do not get far. In the end, it doesn't even matter. Yeah, that's kind of like the mood of the day today. Even if you try your best today, there's so little volatility. No volatility at all in crude oil, at least in the US session. Europe session, man, that looks fine. That looks fine. That was a nice little long trade here. 79.40 to 79.95. 50 ticks. Beautiful. Gold. I think I only got the only trade possible here. S&P. I got my trade. I took it out. So I'm on a whopping. Where am I? Is it even 50? Oh my. It's a $63 day. That is intense. I mean, not going to complain about it, right? It's still a positive day. That being said, it's the max you could get today. Maybe not the max. I could have gotten more in gold, but it's risky. And I was too risk averse to do it. I could have held a bit longer in ES. I think I got in kind of here, took it out here. Could have held a bit longer, yeah, for 3 points. I didn't in the end. And now it looks like interesting situation, right? Very undecided delta. Neutral delta, but now aggressive sellers. So it looks a bit more short biased. But in this situation, I'm not going to go short. Against what? Going short here is like hating money, basically. If you go short here, you hate your money. Because this is definitely support. Next level of support is here. 79.25. Liquidity-wise, nothing too serious here. Nothing too serious. No huge liquidity cushions. We kind of are at the biggest liquidity cushion here. This little, what is it? 85.75 to 85. These are the biggest levels of liquidity we get as of right now. But already liquidity gets taken away. You can see it on the heat map. Tricky. Positive delta on a negative candle. So a bit of a divergence. Speaks a bit more for the short side right now. Because it means that passive sellers are stronger than active buyers or aggressive buyers. Let's see, maybe crude oil does something. Maybe crude oil wants to do something now. 5 minutes till the next 30-minute candle opens. I mean, look at this boredom here. This is weird. Why can I not see? Oh, I thought, why can I not see this profile in separate columns? Because it looks like the same, whether it's like folded together or in separate columns. But actually, that is what the profile looks like. We have this huge spike up. It came down to here. We had this push back up. It came down to here. We get this push back up here, and now this little breakdown here. So this D shape that we get is actually what we got. There's nothing other to say as of right now. Okay, let's see what we get here. Liquidity coming in on those levels up here. That looks like a short, man. Liquidity was a spoof. It's gone. Nothing's happening. But that's trading, guys. That is trading. Sometimes something happens, other times nothing happens. And you cannot decide which day you get beforehand. Most action was pre-market European session. I do not trade European session because I kind of don't like it. It's light on volume, it's light on liquidity, it's light on volatility. So I wait usually for the American market to open. But nothing's going to happen today, and I don't want to bore you and me as well. So that's the reason why I'm saying I'm going to throw in the towel today. It's not like the market got me. I got a teeny bit out of the market. It's fine. I'm going to come back on Monday and try my best to do something better. So long, don't do anything stupid, right? Markets are there to get you. Market makers are there to get you. And just be smart each and every second. See ya.